we're going to honor Joan Kerr right now, who just retired from PG&E. We're recording this. So we'll be able to get this to her. And Joan, for many of you who don't know, she spent the last 11 years at PG&E in charge of their diverse supplier program. And prior to that, she spent many years with women-owned businesses and diverse businesses on really helping them get set up and helping them get connected and really building their businesses and being kind of cutting edge at the time, especially as utilities were just starting being required to have diverse businesses as part of their spend, their purchasing and spend. So I invited a few folks today to share some thoughts. And so I'm going to go through my list here of folks I have, and I'm going to end with my thoughts. And then we have Vanna White here, otherwise known as Crystal Derwicki. And Crystal is going to share off the award that we are going to be sending to Joan as well. So I'm going to start with Lisa Castillo from AT&T to give some of her thoughts about Joan.
All right. I had a feeling, Michael, you'd have me first up. Anyhow, well, I have to say I will miss seeing my friend Joan Kerr out in the supplier diversity community. Joan left a great legacy when she retired from AT&T. She worked for the company for about almost 25 years. And when she retired, she led the supplier diversity program at PG&E. Although I never had the opportunity to work for Joan, her work in the supplier diversity world was truly legendary, and I was already in awe of her before we had the opportunity to meet. While I never really gave it much thought before tonight, when I was writing some comments and my thoughts about her, I think I was trained by Joan by proxy through my first boss, Sheila Bright, who worked for Joan and the AT&T Supplier Diversity Program for many years. Bumping into Joan was always a special moment for me, whether it was at the airport, meeting, conference. I really enjoyed our conversations together. Joan has an unrelenting passion for making a difference in the world that went far beyond supplier diversity in her day job. She's a women's activist, committed to the environment, the elderly, and she even spent her free time this year writing letters to encourage people to vote. She truly is a remarkable person. This is farewell to Joan for right now. However, I know all of us are wishing her a fantastic next chapter. We want her to enjoy her beautiful new granddaughter, daughter, son-in-law, and whatever new journey life has to offer her. She deserves the very best. Blessings to you, Joan. Thank you for all that you've done for the great work in supplier diversity and making such a huge difference in our lives, all of our lives. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Lisa. That was beautiful. And thank you for your insight on her. I learned more about her right there than I knew about her in a long time. So that's great. Thank you for that. And I love that connection, too. She's connected a lot of people's lives as well. I'm going to move over to Lisa Robin from Comcast.
Hi, everyone. And well, I was thinking about this too earlier, and thank you for asking me to say a few words about Joan. I met Joan probably about 4 years ago, and I actually met Joan before and heard about Joan before I had met her. And what was described to me was Joan was the godmother of supplier diversity. And I kept thinking, I need to meet her. You know, I'm newer to supplier diversity, and when I met her, I have to say I was in awe. The first impression I had of her was, one, she was dynamic, and then also she had a special gift, which is really sets her apart, is her passion for supplier diversity. And also what I learned later through many meetings with Joan, and Lisa Castillo probably knows this too, is her passion for sustainability and the environment. And so that actually has helped me with my work as well. And also in my personal life is being more sustainable in my community. And then also just really my wish for Joan is to continue to have that passion and really share that that passion in the communities that she's going to be in the future, and also just to continue to make this world a better place like she has. So thank you, Joan, for everything. Truly appreciate you.
There's so much to say about Joan and how she's affected my life and definitely my business. But I didn't realize it at the time, but we had just gotten an MSA with PG&E about the time that Joan was on board. And my longtime mentor was a director at PG&E, Jane Batty, and she connected me with Joan. And I'm an accidental entrepreneur, biologist by trade, and I didn't know what I needed to survive in the world of PG&E. And Joan was instrumental in that and giving me so many opportunities, including a sponsorship to the UCLA MDE program, where I just learned critical things that have helped me survive as a business over these years. And again, things that I didn't think I needed to know, but I really did. She also introduced me to the GGBA and the NGLCC. Living in my world with my head down in this growing business, I knew nothing about the certification that was available. And Joan invited me to a luncheon in San Francisco. And it wasn't until I was sitting there that the light bulb went off of like, oh, I know why I'm here. And she, again, over the years, connected me with so many opportunities. We had a sustainability program, but she connected us with an opportunity to work with Sustrana that had a sustainability platform where we really were able to take our sustainability program to a grown-up level, if you were, and connecting me with so many amazing leaders in our industry and within PG&E, and having tough love when it was needed, and just saying like, hey, you've got to compete with everyone here. This is not a handout. This is not a gimme. We're going to help you, but you have to help yourself too. And so I've just been so inspired by her and so affected personally. I was shocked when I saw her email that she was retiring, even though I knew it was coming. And Joan, you'll be tremendously missed. You really are a pioneer, and you've made a huge difference that I believe will be lasting.
Great. Well, thank you, Brooke. I appreciate that. And before I go with my comments, is there anyone else that might have want to share comments on if they've connected with Joan before I go? All right. Well, it's funny, Joan, I was actually connected to Joan through one of my clients, Joni Anderson from Anderson Burton Construction. And Joni is this amazing entrepreneur. She's a woman-owned business, has grown her company from about $500,000 to $80 million, and won SBA Western Region Business of the Year. And she called me up one day and said, you need to get LGBTE certified. I said, I don't even know what that is. She goes, and she told me, she goes, you need to get certified, and I need to introduce you to PG&E and introduce you to Joan. And I said, okay. And so I got certified, and I met Joan. I invited up Joni, introduced me to her. Joan immediately helped me get connected. She invited me to speak during Gay Pride. She put on a big event for LGBT businesses. And I did an 1.5-hour talk where I just closed another Terra Verde. That's where I got Terra Verde this last year, closed from that talk 3 years ago. She hired us to help diverse suppliers. So she actually then brought us in and hired us. And most importantly, at that talk was a table from the GGBA. And I met Gina there, I met Paul, I met other folks, and I had never heard the GGBA before. And that's how I ended up joining the GGBA, was through Joan and that connection. And I think how many lives she's actually impacted and changed. And Joan, you probably don't even realize it, that the trickle effect that you have had on so many folks. I even remember a story Brooke told me about sustainability, and Brooke actually they ended up getting a Prius because Joan said, it'd be really good to be economical because you're driving all over the place. And Brooke and her company got a Prius to help with that. And so she's impacting the environment by also helping to impact diverse suppliers. She's one of those people that will be missed. And I've talked to so many folks who are in a diverse supplier field and arena at various corporations, and they all have something or connection to Joan. And so, Joan, we want to thank you as part of the LGBT community and the Golden Gate Business Association for your constant collaboration with us and supporting us and engaging us and helping us get better and helping us lead the LGBT certification process. We were one of the first chambers to do that under your guidance. And because of that, we're actually naming an annual award after you, and it's the Joan Kerr Award for the outstanding diverse supplier by one of our corporate partners. There's Crystal. Can you show that up? I don't know if you guys can all see that. Ella Print helped us with that beautiful award. And so it's going to, every year, every December, we're going to acknowledge one of our corporate partners for the work they've done with our organization and our community. And Joan, you're going to be remembered every year because it's going to be the Joan Kerr Award that people are going to be able to receive every year in recognition for what you have done for our community. And so I'm hoping right now, as you're watching this, Joan, you realize the love and the admiration so many folks have for you. And the work you've done and the impact on all the businesses and the employees and all those people that are employed by those businesses. You've had a huge impact in helping various marginalized communities get stronger and become stronger. So thank you for that. And thank you for all the work you've done. So let's give her an applause.